Today I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot Docker containers with Sitecore running there. It is Windows containers. Basically the approach is general, so I'm not demonstrating the specific error, but the way how would you approach either of them. The assumption is that we have already the source code, and you got the source code from another fellow developer who states that the source code is operable and functional, and for some reason it doesn't work for you, so you need to troubleshoot what's getting wrong. And the beauty of Docker containers is that basically whatever is inside of containers, if it works, then it works. There's no such a thing that it works on my machine but it won't work on your machine. If it doesn't, the difference is definitely outside of container, but let's see what we can do in general to approach that. With that assumption, we have this solution ready in this Sitecore folder. We initialize that and we're ready to spin it up. And after a certain time, when it tries to see if CM is available, we get this error. The first thing is not to panic, just look around and try to get as much information from the context as you can do that. So what we see here is that our CM instance, the container with it, gets us an error and we cannot get it available. Okay, the message is clear: unable to connect to a remote server. This is the partial command, invoke REST method to localhost with some varied port. That's not much helpful. Generally try to see what we can get out of context. Okay, so now we get some basic understanding. The next thing to do would be, quite obvious. Try to Google that. It's very likely you are not the first person who get this error, and from, let's say, Stack Exchange space, you will see other people facing the same error, and maybe it's get resolved, and it will likely be resolved. But okay, let's assume you didn't find anything there. Let's troubleshoot that ourselves. What we get from here is that CM instance is not healthy. It gets some error. So let's go to Docker desktop. Here we have this starter kit solution, and what we see green are operable containers which are healthy, and here is our CM container exited 1. It prompts that if it's not 0, that it means some sort of error. What we can do here, we can get into terminal. Terminal allows you execute commands in the context of the container. I will show you a little bit later, but you see here we don't have terminal, so that means our container is not even healthy. So the first thing would be go to the logs and see what happens here. We see the term something.ps1 is not recognized as the name of cmdled function, so something is missed here. So let's probably get this part of the file path, and let's go into solution and search what it could be related to. We'll get 3 findings. Because it has 3 topologies here, let's take a look at this one. I know that my topology is XM1, so I will pick up the first, which is XM1. And this is the line which matches to this development PS1 script. And I see entry point. Entry point is basically what executes after your container is up and running, so that's the process that it gets executed, and that runs PowerShell with this command that executes development PS1 script. So it's clearly part of the path. See tools, entry point, IS, development, PS1. And I see here the same path but without slashes. So someone tells me that this slash is actually works as the system identifier, so I need to screen this slash with double slash so that it becomes operable. Okay, so maybe that would work. I save it and let's run it again. And this time it's different. CM actually worked out. I can enter admin with default password and allow access to the client. Now I can close it. And you see it goes on with the further instructions: populating schema, rebuilding and access, and so on. So basically that particular error got resolved. Of course, it was just an example of an error and generic approach how you could troubleshoot that